Welcome to the Structural Analysis 2 video lecture. So, in this video lecture, I am going to discuss about a small problem using flexibility matrix method on continuous beam. So, this is the question. In the question, we have the continuous beam A, B, C, and with a UDL of 60 kilonewton per meter and a point load of 100 kilonewtons located centrally in the span BC. The total length of the span is 7 meters and at A it is a fixed end. So for doing any type of problem, a numerical problem using flexibility matrix method, we need to find the degree of static indeterminacy for a given continuous beam. So this degree of static indeterminacy being a very the basic part in structural analysis, one we have studied. So how we are going to get the degree of static indeterminacy is that, so at end A, being a fixed support, we have three reactions. One is vertical, and second is horizontal, and third one is moment. And at roller support B, we have one reaction, and at roller support C, we have one more reaction here. So the total number of reaction components, this let's see. So the total number of reaction components are 5 according to the given continuous beam. But the number of independent equations of equilibrium are 3. These are the standard ones. Those are sigma fx is equal to 0, sigma y is equal to 0, and summation of moments at any point is 0. So degree of static indeterminacy is nothing but the number of reaction components minus independent equations of equilibrium. That is 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. So depending on the degree of static indeterminacy, the matrix size is mentioned. Suppose we have 3 here instead of 2. If we are having 3, there will be a 3 by 3 matrix. Here we have got the degree of static indeterminacy as 2, so the matrix will be in the form of 2 by 2. Fine. Next, so we have to select two forces as redundant force. So what is a redundant force? And one more thing, MA and MB, they are the moments actually, but in flexibility and stiffness matrix method, the moments are also treated as reactions or forces. So coming to redundant force, it is a force that can be an external support reaction force or an internal member force if removed from the structure will not cause any instability. So when we are removing two forces, say one force at A and one force at B, what happens is that the structure will be having stability because the degree of static indeterminacy will be 0. As there are 5 reactions, if you remove 2, 3 minus 3 will become 0, yet also it is determinate. So that is the reason we are selecting two forces, and those are called redundant force. So we are selecting MA and MB as redundant force, where we will get the matrices, and the released structures we have to draw. The released structures are the two independent simply supported beams AB and BC. So if you remove one reaction at A, we get a simply supported beam like this. It is shown here. This is called the released beam. Next, the coordinates selected are shown in the above figure. That means 1 and 2. Two coordinates are selected here for spans AB and BC. Now, the bending moment diagram due to given loads in release structure is known as free moment diagram. So, if we draw a bending moment diagram for this released beam, which is shown here, this one. The diagram is called as free moment diagram. That means no fixed or nothing. So it is a free moment diagram since the ends are hinged. And in AB, the free movement diagram will be WL square by 8, because in AB there is a UDL which is imposed on with 60 kN per meter load. So we get like that. And in BC, the free movement diagram will be WL by 4, as it is a point load centrally located. WL by 4 we have like this. Now the conjugate beam. Next step is we have to draw the conjugate beam for the released structures. For the released structures we have to draw a conjugate beam. So with M by EA diagram as loads. What is M by EA diagram? The moment of the maximum moment divided by EI, that is structural rigidity. That is the diagram as loads. There we don't have UDL. Here the load will be M by EA. In the conjugate beam, the load will be M by EA, which is shown here like this line. Okay, 120 by EA will be the load in on AB, and 75 by EA will be the load on B dash C dash. So this is how a conjugate beam is drawn for released structure in the flexibility matrix method. And we get delta 1L. There is shear in conjugate beam at A. So how to find the shear in conjugate beam at A? That is, we have the formula of that area of parabola as half is, why we are taking half, because we are finding shear, we have to take half the section, half into 2 by 3 into height, that is 120 by EI, and 4 will be the length. So this is how we get 1 by 2 into 2 by 3 into 120 by EI will be height, and 160 by EI will be the total shear, that is in IL, 1L, sorry. And similarly in delta 2L we have to take the rotation at B in A dash B dash plus rotation at B in B dash C dash. So when we are coming to the second coordinate, the first coordinate we have to consider only at A, and in the second coordinate we have to consider rotation in B dash due to in A dash and B dash, and here at the same point due to B dash and C dash. Okay, we have to consider like this. So how we are drawing? We are just having the areas of that half into the same 2 by 3 EI, 2 by 3 into 120 by EI into 4 plus half into base into height, that is half into 1 by 2 into 75 by EI, that is the height of the triangle, 75 by EI, and into 3 is the length, half into base into this is the height, right. Next we go for the next step. We get this one, and to find the flexibility matrix, a unit force is applied in each of the coordinate directions, and the resulting displacements are formed. So flexibility matrix is we will be finding the displacement by applying a unit force in each of the coordinate directions. So we have a unit force now. Let's applying unit force in coordinate direction 1. The resulting bending moment diagram is formed. So this is how, if we have a unit force in the released beam. Okay. So here if we have a unit force 1 kN per meter, we get the diagram like this. Okay, triangle with 1 by EA diagram. This is M by EA diagram. We know that M by EA diagram. So we get the maximum as 1 by EA at this side and 0 here. That is delta 1 and delta 2 1. That means here in the matrix we are going to write accordingly. Okay, delta 1 1 and delta 2 1. This is delta 1 1 and this is delta 2, delta 1 2, and this is delta 2 2. So these two values we are going to write in the matrix. Now, so the conjugate beam for unit load. Again we have to find the conjugate beam for unit load. So the conjugate beam is a simply supported beam. So this conjugate beam is a simply supported beam. So we get delta 1 1 is equal to 2 by 3 into the same half into base into height, and delta 2 1 is equal to 1 by 3 into half into base into height. So what is that 2 by 3 and 1 by 3? So 2 by 3 is nothing but distance uh, from A dash to the centroid, and 1 by 3 is the distance from B dash to the centroid. Similarly, a unit load is applied in coordinate direction 2. So when we go for the second coordinates, that is in the second column, say, so we are also doing the same procedure which we have done for the first coordinate. So M by E diagram we have to draw in the similar fashion, and we have to find the we have to find the moments, the displacements here. So if we consider when you see this diagram in A B dash, A dash B dash, we are considering 1 2, only this we are taking, right? And for delta 2 2 we are considering in this fashion and also in this fashion, right? From here 2 by 3 and also from here 2 by 3. In the corpus, these are the lengths. We have length here 4 and 3, right? So this is how we make. And next, moving for the next part, we have 7 by A and 2 by A. So from consistency conditions, final displacements delta 1 and delta 2 will be 0, because there is no settlement as given in the question. So the displacements, final displacement, that is from the consistency conditions, so delta 1 and delta 2 will be 0. In the question they hasn't given any drop down or any deflection or any deflection like that in the question. So we are taking delta 1 and delta 2 is 0 here. So delta 1 is the rotation at fixed end A. So in general, as per the consistency conditions, that means at fixed end we have 0 as the displacement, and delta 2 is the relative rotation between BA and BC, hence it is 0. Because delta 2 there is no settlement as given in the question, so we are taking delta 2 is also 0. So the matrix equation, the general matrix equation for the flexibility matrix is given as delta into P is equal to delta in the form of triangle and delta L, the subtraction of delta and delta L as shown here. Delta into P is equal to delta minus delta L, and we have delta 1 1, delta 1 2, delta 2 1 and delta 2 2. And here we know that P1 and P2 are the loads, and delta will be 0 and delta L are, we have found it recently. Yes, let's go there. So this is how 4 by 3 EI, 2 by 3 EI, 2 by 3 EI and 7 by 3 EI into P1 into P2, and we get like this. So taking 1 by 3 EI common, we get 4 2 2 7 P1 and P2, and 1 by EI into minus 160 and minus 225. And next we get how to find this P1 and P2. Let's push this LHS to RHS and make it inverse like this. Right? So how to solve this small inverse of this matrix is that for the simple mathematical calculations we got this one. So the 3 will be as is here. And how to make this inverse matrix as a general matrix is that, so suppose this is A, B, C and D. So suppose this is A, B, C and D. We get how to take this, it is 1 minus AD minus BC. So 1 minus AD, 4 into 7 minus BC, 2 into 2 into this matrix is given as D, and this is minus B, right, and this is minus C, and this is A. Okay, that A will go here, for this B will come here. Here we have 7, this will come here, and this 4 will go downward, and this 2, whatever, here we have 2, otherwise here we are writing B as minus B and C as minus C, and these 2 are as it is. Right? After that we have to do the calculations. So after that 1 by 8 into minus 687 into 546 will be the answer. So how we are getting the 687 and 546 is that 7 into 160, or 7 into minus 160 plus minus 2 into 216.5. So if you make that, you will get 687. And next, minus 2 into minus 160 plus 4 into minus 216.5. This we get minus 546. So the final solution will be minus 85.875 and minus 68.250. So this will be the final solutions of P1 and P2. So after getting the loads P1 and P2, you have to calculate like this. So final moments and bending moment diagrams are shown here. This is 85.875 and 68.250. So the only at these 2 points we have taken as resonant forces MA and MB. So why we haven't taken C is that if you take C, the stability goes in general, not according to the not according to the degree of static indeterminacy, but in general, if you take C as the ordinate, there will be a problem right in the structure. So here, when we look after the general bending moment diagram with the moments P and P1 and P2. So already I have told those are also considered, the loads are also considered as moments in flexibility matrix method. Okay, so this is the bending moment diagram drawn with free movement and the bending moments are there. So that's all regarding the flexibility matrix method. This is a very small and simple problem. Hope you have all understood it. Please like, share and subscribe my channel for more updates. Thank you very much.